Hey friends, in today's video we have Shrija with us who recently got her visa approved from Bangalore VFS. So she is here with all of us to share information about her experience which will help all of you who are applying from Bangalore VFS to ease your visa process. So without wasting any further time, let's get started with today's video. So hi Shrija, first of all welcome to my channel.
Hello and thank you.
So could you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yeah. So I'm Shrija. I had applied for a PhD program in nanotechnology, and so I have obtained an admission in PhD from the Laboratory of Nano and Quantum Engineering, which is affiliated to the Leibniz University of Hanover.
Okay, great. When was your visa appointment scheduled? What was the time and date?
Okay, so my visa appointment was scheduled on 11th of September 2020, and I had got the appointment for 10:15 a.m. at VFS Bank.
And when did you reach the venue? Like 30 minutes prior to the appointment or on time?
Well, I reached 30 minutes prior to the appointment because after I left my place in Bangalore, I just realized that I did not have the copy of my appointment letter. So I had all my documents in store except that. And I was a little worried, but a friend of mine told me that there is a shop where you get your Xerox copies just opposite to the Global Tech Park where the VFS Bangalore is located. So I got there by 9:45, and then I had ample amount of time to get this copy of my appointment letter, and then I stepped in.
So it's really important to know for the students that if they've forgotten some documents, then there is a place where they can get the documents copied, right?
Absolutely. So that is just opposite to the Global Tech Park where the VFS is.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good to know then.
Yeah.
You said that you reached the venue at like 30 minutes prior to the appointment, right?
Yes.
So when were you allowed to enter the building and what documents you had to show to the security guard?
So at the entrance, all we have to show is the appointment letter. So I reached there at around 10 after getting the Xerox and then checking my documents if I had everything. So I stepped in at 10 a.m. They checked my appointment letter and then they asked me to, they gave me sanitizer and I had to clean my hands and then they checked my temperature using a thermal scanner and that's when they allowed me inside.
Okay, so you were allowed to carry all the electrical appliances with you inside?
No, well, a friend of mine had warned me not to carry any power banks and anything of that sort. So I took all my documents as well as my mobile phone. That's all I had with me. And those were allowed inside.
Okay. You said that VFS Bangalore is located in a global tech park, right? So where did you have to go after entering the building? Like ground floor or on which floor is it located?
Okay, so as soon as you enter the building, you reach the ground floor where there is a reception and there are chances of you getting confused, but right in front of you, you see a board that states UK and then there is this reception. So you can just ask at the reception. They will ask you for your passport and your appointment letter and then they will give you they will just ask you to proceed inside. All those who have, their visa applications to be submitted for UK, they will be waiting at that counter and the others will be asked to proceed to the first floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean to say that those students who want to apply for Germany, for them the counter is on first floor, right? Okay. What are the next steps that took place once you reached the first floor?
Yeah, so you have an elevator where you can just go to the first floor using that. And as soon as you reach the first floor, you will be asked to go to another reception where they give you your token number. So they will check your passport and your appointment letter, and they have a checklist in which they will check your name and they will, place a tick mark against that,
Yeah.
so that they can get an idea of who's there and who's not there. And then after you get your token number, you have to follow a green line. So there are 3 different lines there. One is in light green and dark green, and each one is for a different lounge. So you have the premium lounge service and the normal lounge service. So I had opted for the normal lounge service. So you have to follow a particular green line, and then you reach the normal lounge, where as soon as you enter, you see all the help desk and all that. Yeah.
Okay. Was there any reason for you not to opt for premium lounge service, or you just didn't want to pay extra?
Um, I think I was comfortable with the normal lounge because you have certain. I think you have specialized, like help desks where they guide you through each and every procedure. I think I did not require that. I thought I had all my documents in store, and then they also serve you food and drinks if you are in the premium lounge. And then I was like, okay, I don't think that's necessary. Well, when you actually go for, to get your token, they ask you, do you want the premium lounge service? So if you want, you can always opt for it. But then I didn't find it necessary, so I just went for the normal lounge.
Those were the next steps, and then you went to the visa officer, right? So, what questions were asked to you by the visa officer, and what all documents did he check? And did he also ask for your original documents, or they were not required?
Okay, so that's a very interesting question. So after I reached the lounge, I found that there were 6 help desks or visa, centers for Germany, out of which just one was operational. And while waiting, I saw that there was a screen on which the token number was displayed. So I actually had my appointment at 10:15, but I was called in at 11 because the others in front of me were taking their time. They have to arrange these documents and all that.
Yeah.
So once I reached there, the visa officer asked me to submit 2 sets of all the documents that were in the checklist. So there were lots of things like the health insurance and your transcripts and all that. So I submitted everything, but they told me that we don't require your transcripts. We only require the original document of your previous degree, which was my master's degree. So I only had to give the original of my master's degree. I had the transcripts and my 12th mark sheets and all. They just returned it to me, and they said there's no need of that. Specifically, they asked me to check for certain documents, okay, and those were your travel health insurance, your language requirements, that is your IELTS, then the original degree, and then the passport copy. Those were the documents, and apart from that, I did not expect that they would actually require the physical presence certificate because everyone, including my supervisor at Germany, they had stressed on the fact that a physical presence certificate is not a necessity for a doctoral student. But I was actually surprised because the visa officer specifically told me that that is a necessity, and I had to take a printout of it and then submit it.
Okay. You mentioned all the documents, but you didn't mention anything about the blocked account document. So, a PhD candidate need not submit their blocked account document, or what?
Okay, so a PhD student generally has a scholarship, which will be a certain amount, maybe 1,500 euros or 2,000 euros, depending on which category of scholarship you have received. So all you have to give is your scholarship approval letter, which will be there along with your, initial letter of invite, which you receive from the university. So instead of blocked account, PhD students are required to submit their scholarship letter.
Okay, great. And were there any other questions asked by the visa officer, like why are you going to Germany and why did you choose particularly Germany and not any other country, or some questions like this?
So I did not encounter any of those questions because I had actually mentioned all that in my letter of motivation. So the letter of motivation and your cover letter is very important because they told me that they generally read through those. But CV is not important. apart from the other documents, these two are very important: letter of motivation and the cover letter. Yeah.
Did you write them in English or in German?
No, it has to be in English. At least I think for all PhD students, they require the language. That is, your language requirements are in English, and all your documents are in English.
Okay, perfect.
Except the, I think the Videx form, which you generally submit, and that has both. It's bilingual.
After submitting all the documents to the visa officer, I think there is another process where you also submit your biometrics, right?
Yes, precisely.
So, what biometrics did you have to submit?
So once you're done with all your documents, they have a separate checklist with which they will, verify all the documents that you've submitted, and those that they don't require, they will return it to you. In addition, they also ask you to fill up two forms, a declaration and another form, which you have to do so at that moment. And then they ask you to submit your biometric photos, to 3 biometric photos. So once that's done and everything is done, they ask you to pay. So you have to pay a certain amount, and then once that is done, you will be waiting. You will be asked to wait for biometrics. So in your biometrics, they actually take your fingerprints, all 10 fingers. So that's what biometrics is all about. Yeah.
Okay, and did you face any difficulties while doing those biometrics? Because in my last interview, the candidate had to wait for 1 hour because the biometric machine was not working actually.
Oh, okay. No, I did not encounter any of those problems during my slot, and everything went perfectly fine. In fact, I just had to wait for about, I think, 15 minutes or so after everything was done, and my biometrics were complete within that period.
Was your biometrics the last stage of your entire visa application process, or was there anything even after biometrics?
No, that was the last stage. So after all the documents and everything had been checked and verified, they asked me to wait for about 15 minutes, and then my name was called for completing the biometric procedure. So I just went in and they took the fingerprints and they told me, okay, everything's done. So have a nice day.
How much time did this entire process take? Like, from entering the building till completing the biometrics, how much time should a student have in hand?
So for me, I reached at 10. I entered the building at 10, you can say, but by the time everything was complete, it was around 12.
Okay. So did you go alone, or were your parents or someone waiting outside for you?
No, I went in alone.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned that you had to submit your physical presence certificate, but
Yes.
Like on the spot, you called your professor and you asked for this certificate, or you already had it but you didn't take the printout of it?
Oh, yeah. So that was the thing. I had it in my email. My professor had sent it out to me. She had specifically mentioned that doctoral students generally don't require, because it is understood that you will be doing an experimental work which requires you to be in the lab. So she had mentioned explicitly, but because I kept pushing her that my VFS center is asking for this, they have specifically mentioned it in the guidelines and so and so. So she had just sent it out in an email, and then I had to take a printout of it. Yeah. So you have a print facility there where you can get any documents that are missing. If you have it in your email or anything, you can get it.
Okay. So what was the entire amount that you spent during this entire visa application process?
Okay, so it was around 7,756, if I'm not wrong. So that is inclusive of the entire visa processing fee and the courier charges and your SMS charges, everything, all inclusive.
Okay. So once the biometrics is done, you take your passport with you, and then you wait for the SMS from the VFS, and then when you get the SMS, you go there with your passport for stamping, right? Is it how it goes, or was it different for you?
Yeah, for me it was very different because everything happened on that one day. I submitted my passport and my original certificate on 11th of September 2020, and all the procedure was done then and there, and I did not get my passport back. They told me that your documents along with your passport and biometrics will be sent to the consulate, and They will verify everything and your visa will be stamped, and then you will get an SMS when it is dispatched. Yeah.
So you got your stamped passport at your home, or you had to go there for collecting it?
So my home is in a little remote area, so it was unserviceable according to the Blue Dart guidelines. So I had to go to a nearby area where at the collection center and then get it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how many days did it take for you to get your passport back?
So it took me around 22 days for the entire procedure. On 29th, I got the message that my stamped visa had been dispatched, and then it took a few more days for me to get it. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So, any final words that you would like to tell to my viewers?
Well, for all those who are applying for visa in Germany, keep your hopes high. Everything is pretty simple. You will get your visa, you will get to go. Good luck. That's it.
So, thank you so much, Shrija, for this detailed insight about your VFS experience. I hope it will help all the students out there who are applying from Bangalore VFS. And thank you again for your time. And I hope to see you soon in Germany. And all the best for your entire procedure that is left to follow.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. It was nice sharing my experience with all of you. And please like, support, and subscribe to his channel because he is doing a great work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that's it for this video, guys, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, then please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye, take care and stay safe.